Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I know you heard me say this before, but you don't need to create more content. You need people talking about you and your business when you're not in the room. Forget about starting a podcast. You want to grow in 2025, you get interviewed by someone else's podcast. Ding! Because in the world of AI summaries and click-through searches and content fatigue all the time, because podcast interviews are the new PR tactics and strategies for 2025. And if you do it right, one conversation can turn into 10 different content ideas for your business. And it will get you leads. It will build SEO for your business as well, because people are going to be searching for you and your business. And you don't have to be creating all that content for 10 days. So let's talk a little bit more about this, and I'll see you inside, okay?
Hey, I'm Veronica De Polo, and with more than 15 years being in marketing strategies, are you ready for actionable bite-sized episodes about business advice on marketing, branding, and messaging to take your business to the next level? If you're a service business owner, we'll show you how to attract qualified leads on social media and beyond. We'll reveal the art of showcasing your brand effectively, and will uncover the best strategies to hook your audience so they keep coming for more. Say goodbye to outdated marketing strategies and embrace the power of change. Welcome to the Branding Momentum Podcast.
So why podcast interviews beat posting? Now, posting is loud. We've talked about this so many times. We're creating content like content machines all the time, but podcast interviews are a little quiet proof. Like, you suddenly appear in other people's search and algorithms and everything. So you're not yelling to be seen. You are being invited to share your know-how and what you actually know. And what that actually does is that builds already a 10x plus trust factor, that you are putting yourself out there, and other people that don't know you from another niche or another industry are already discovering what your brand is all about and what your service is all about and your brand. So especially if you're selling like high ticket services and very exclusive services, this is premium real estate marketing strategies for you. Now, you don't need 1,000 listeners. You don't. Especially actually if you're a small business owner and you want to actually get yourself out there, you just need to find the right one that has that right clip that they create and that they share, and the right person that is going to be interviewing you. So that is a job that you a little bit have to do, to be honest. Okay. Now, the SEO and the discovery game that nobody is actually using is that podcast interviews don't just live on Spotify as you know it. They don't. They show up on Google, they show up on Apple, they're being indexed by ChatGPT or Perplexity or YouTube.com or even TikTok search, because some of these people also could be on TikTok. So people are looking for those, which means that one interview that you are doing, that one interview can make your name be discovered in 7 different platforms that you probably are not even in those. And whoa, right? So why not? Without you actually writing one single post or doing one single thing or having to spend hours trying to do that piece of content or that reel or that TikTok reel or that short, whatever it is. You don't have to be doing that because you're going to be on a podcast interview. So because when you go to these podcast interviews, most of the work is being done by the podcaster, the person that is going to be interviewing you. So they're going to be creating the content. They're going to be uploading it. They're going to be putting the SEO, the description. They're going to be doing all the heavy lifting that you don't have to do. So that's why this is really genius. And they need content, to be honest. They need the content. So if you can provide the content for them, win-win, don't you see? Anyway, now one interview can turn into 10 days of original content, of you not saying even the same thing. And we're going to be putting it in so many different ways because this is me trying to explain to you what you can actually do so that you think about it when you are trying to get more leads and trying to get your brand across. So these are the kind of things that you could actually visualize, that you can actually make with one single podcast interviews. You can create little clips for Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts, right? Then you can create little quotes, things that you maybe said, and you can turn those little quotes into maybe a sequence of carousels. So different carousels where you explain a point of view that maybe you had during that interview. You can make different kind of topics that you spoke about because probably they gave you questions. So you talked about different things about your business. So those little topics, you can pick them up and create and make different angles. And those topics, you can turn them into emails. You can turn them into articles that you're building. You can send those to your list, to new people that are coming in, or you can even create like a freebie if you wanted to. Now you can also get the transcripts of that interview, everything that it was talked about, and you can actually turn it into a blog post and you can post it on Pinterest or share it on LinkedIn. There's so many ways. Now you could also get the links, obviously. Having the links and for the SEO is much better because you can actually maybe put some backlinks for more credibility into that link. You can use testimonials as well. And if the host, praises your work, you can share, well, this is what the interviewer said about me and blah, 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 right? Also, that single episode can actually turn into a searchable and trackable piece of content because people will actually write the name of that episode, trying to search for it. So the more you promote it, obviously, the more people will actually search for it. So that also helps your SEO. Now, also, these could be pitches. For example, if you're trying to get a certain person or a potential lead, you can always say, check out my interview where we talked about this. So this is another way for you to show your expertise without maybe somebody having to talk to you, and they can actually see you in action, how you respond, and what is your business all about, what are the services that you actually provide. Now, another thing that you could turn it into a newsletter, right? Something that you make, maybe you're on Substack like I am, and you can take that and develop it as different kind of angles that you want to share, or maybe you're charging for your Substack, or who knows, right? So, and then the last one that I would say is for visibility, really, is like one clip can actually hit multiple different kinds of people, but also the algorithm, because that one clip can get seen by other people, but also they would actually, well, in theory, a lot of people actually do tag you when they're uploading a clip. So if they tag you and you're a collaborator, for example, on Instagram, that will be great because those people that are already know that podcast will be liking that clip, and your people will get to know, oh, wow, they went to this show. Wow, that is so interesting. It's a different perspective. It is not the kind of same conversation that we're having every single day in our content, but you're in a different, more relaxed setting where people get to see and hear your point of view. Now, how to actually get interview? And I know this is what everybody wants to know. And I tell you, you don't need a big PR team. You need a pitch that doesn't sound like a CV, like a resume. So it doesn't have to be strict. I would recommend from my own experiences, okay? I usually look at their socials. I look at if they promote their podcast, because if they don't promote their podcast, I don't want to be on their podcast. When was the last time that they did a show? If it was in, I don't know, December, that is not a potential podcast interview for me, because I am posting every single day and I am doing podcasts as well. So that would not be an option for me. Now, another thing that I would say is that you need to find ways to know who they are. You have to listen to some of their, little snippets of how they talk and what they say. Look at their socials, really. I do that a lot. I mean, sometimes my team comes with all these people and I'm like, no, no, no. And then I'm like, yeah, but don't tell me no why. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you why. No, because of this. No, because of that. Because maybe they're abroad, or maybe they're talking about certain things that I don't want to be talking about, or I don't feel I'm aligned to them, or I don't give anything to them. Sometimes you see these wonderful podcasts, but they don't do remote podcasting. So why would I go and bother somebody that doesn't do remote podcasting when I am remote? So if they only do like in-person podcasting, that is not an option to me. So don't pitch those, really. I mean, unless they say somewhere else that they actually do it, then you go ahead, or you see it, by the way. Now, it is also very important to hear the way that they say things, how they talk, because maybe I would have said to you like a year ago, pitch to anybody. I've been doing this now for the 1 year now. And I've been going to interviews into podcasting. I think it does matter who you go to. I don't try to pitch to big podcasting, because some of them actually do charge for you to go there. And also, they're fully booked. Let's be honest, okay? So try to aim low, but good. Something that actually does give something back to you, or that you feel that you're very aligned. Because if they don't promote, if they don't do this, yes, you're pitching yourself to them, but you have to also understand how they also work, because it could take months. And you went, which I have a few of those, by the way. I did them last year and I haven't seen them yet. Anyway, but everybody's different. I don't put everybody in the same box, but I wanted to let you know how that actually works. Now, one of the things that you should say within that email or that form, because some of them have emails and they give you the email right away on their website, by the way, or on their socials for people to actually pitch to be interviewed. But when you are actually writing to them or you're doing these forms, it is very important that you first acknowledge who they are and what they do, and say something that is authentic to you, like I really enjoyed when you talked about blah, blah, blah. That already is an icebreaker, because it shows them that you actually have looked into their content. When you pitch to anybody, even these stupid people that write to me, I'm like, SEO, YouTube, and I'm like, I can do your YouTube and SEO much better than what you're doing. Your videos are and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, if you would actually come to me in a way that I would actually say yes, because you took the time, really, you took the time to actually understand my business or what I do. So many people ask me if they can do my marketing. I'm like, have you been checking my socials? Like, I talk about marketing nonstop. Anyway, now, I hope you are smarter than those people, and I think you are. And let's do a little research, and actually ChatGPT can help you do that little research on them so that you know what you can actually say, right? Now, first you say, who do you help? How are you doing? Who do you help? What you're known for. And I'm not talking here about you bragging, because obviously they don't know you. This is cold selling. what you're doing, but you have to let them know a little bit what you are up to, and you can put some links in there, and maybe they can go to your bio, to your about page, or something even further, because some people read it, or maybe they have an assistant that is reading that. Then go for it and do that too. Then I want you to be bold and to take what you want to share. Like, what would you like to talk about? I mean, I usually don't want to tell them what I want to talk about. That is my personal, I am like that way. I rather they tell me what is it going to be. And I honestly say, I rather have podcasts that we don't have rehearsed or questions beforehand. I rather it is more fluid. It is more off the cuff. It is more natural. People will see and hear that you are more natural when you don't have, and you have not rehearsed the answers. So I used to do it when I started doing interviews. I think it was like 2 years ago. And I realized that you lose that authenticity from the other person that is coming in. And I had one time that somebody was so nervous that I had to tell her, I had to stop the interview. And I said, stop looking at the questions or your answers. Just talk to me. Just talk to me, because otherwise it's going to be really hard. And I want you to be as authentic as you naturally are. So I'm giving you these little nibbles and things. Now, what is most important is you're obviously pitching to their audience. So you have to give them something like, why would their audience actually care to have you in their show? If you don't give them a reason, like, what's in it for me, really? That is really the point. Like, what's in it for me? What can I do to be here and give you something that your audience will enjoy, and they will actually say, like, yes, they resonate? Because there's so many people that pitch, but you have to find that one thing. That's why I'm telling you that the research at the beginning is crucial sometimes, because if you can give something extra they have not talked about, that you know that you have what that podcast is doing, and you can actually change an angle, a shift, or change a point of view, then say it. Say it right there. Don't say it later, because you only have one shot of getting yes or no when you do this pitch, because it is what it is, right? And then an optional thing that you could actually do. So there are 5 things. I'm going to repeat them now. But the last thing that I want you to actually consider is that for you to, if you can, why not? You can actually do a little small video of yourself, and you can attach it to that email, because in the forms, they don't actually give you that. They don't allow you to do that. But in the email, you can always do it if you have the time. Why not? If you really, really want them to be on their podcast. So first things, let me just give you everything that you should be saying. Who do you help? What you're known for? The bold take that you want to take, the topic that you want to talk about, why their audience will care. And an option could be a clip about talking to them and being a speaker, an interviewer in their podcast. Okay. So I would say, don't overcomplicate it. Make it as simple as you can. Host one good guest. Like, literally. That is, I think, the bottom line for anybody, and to have a nice conversation, depending on the kind of podcasting show that you're going for. And there are no perfect ones. Nobody's perfect. Oh my God, if I tell you the stories, but we don't have time for that. But really, don't overcomplicate it. And the thing is that the small shows are often the highest converting ones. You would be surprised of so many shows that seem small. They are not the biggest ones, but they have loyal followers. And then that's what you want. You want other people to actually discover you when they go and see their regular kind of show, It's like when you even go on a TV or anything, on interviews, people get to discover you that they didn't know that you existed. That is what it's all about. It's the PR game, really. And what I wanted to say, it's not so much as that is a PR game. It is a lead generation game. It's a leads game. You are not doing interviews just because. or because everyone else is doing them, because that's what we see all the time. That's what my feed looks like, podcast interviews all the time and all the time. You're doing them to actually build trust with cold leads, okay? You're gonna get discovered in different platforms that you are not actually posting daily in those platforms because they put their podcast everywhere. And maybe you only post in 2 or in 1, right? Now, you're gonna turn one conversation into a full content stack of content. That's what you're gonna be doing. And you're gonna have a proof of your voice and of your point of view and your brain. And that is what it's gonna give. And be searchable without burning out, because that's actually the game about everything that I think I'm talking about for the last 5 years. But this year I'm all about simplifying and not burning out, and simplifying everything that you're doing and getting leads and showing up the right way that you want to show up. Now, this is how real experts grow in 2025. Strategically, repeatedly, and quietly. Honestly, this is the quietest game that is happening, and not many people are tapping into that. You don't need to have a book. You don't need to be launching something. You can just be there for your own brain and your services and what you do, because you change people's life. You help. You are a service provider. You serve. Okay? So be aware and find the right podcast for your business. Don't choose the biggest ones, like I said. Don't choose the biggest ones because they usually charge money. And go for a niche that you know that it's outside of your own industry, but where you think that cold audience could actually benefit from what you are doing. And I'm going to leave it up to here, because I honestly feel that if you got to the end of this, you're going to see all the possibilities that you can actually do into podcasting. I was so excited to do this podcast. I didn't know where the hell I would put it within the programming of our podcast, but I finally found the right timing for me. I really needed to share this. And I know I've said it a little bit here and there, but I think this is a quiet PR strategy that you can actually do, that it doesn't require a lot of work from you. And like I said, you don't need a podcast. You need a paper trail of proof that you can help people and that people can actually find you before they hire you, before they book you, or buy from you. So this is a great way to do a pitch without somebody you needing to do a pitch. Okay, guys, I'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.